Señorita,
Hola, corazón. How are you?
good. How are
Evening.
you? Yes, I love the earrings. Are those flowers? Oh, they're flowers.
I
Oh, they're
know.
beautiful.
I chose it especially for your podcast today because Paint to Smile to me is like a big flower, so I wanted to represent. I chose this one.
Gracias. I love it. I love it. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna introduce you guys to Lilia, so you guys learn a little bit more about her, and then we will get started. Um, so welcome everyone to Paint to Inspire Women Making Their Mark. I'm so excited to have you join us tonight for episode 9 with the incredible Lilia Rios. Lilia is a Mexican American entrepreneur and cultural ambassador who has mastered the art of blending tradition with innovation. From co-founding La Providencia, which now has a national presence across 22 plus U.S. states, to creating the stunning Nuuku boutique hotel in Mexico's Riviera Maya. Her journey is truly inspiring, and we're going to dive more into her story. She also serves in the board of the State Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and she does a lot of many different things for our community, which is why I am so excited to have her here tonight. Hi, Lilia. How are you?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. And it's great that at the end we were able to do this episode. I was looking forward since you invited me the first time. But always it's busy schedule, and things happen. As an entrepreneur, you know that there's always you cannot have certainty of many things. But here we are, and thanks so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for doing it. It is, but I really wanted to have you here. You have a very a story of resilience, and you continue to be strong through and through because you've along the journey and then along the few years that I've known you, there's been challenges and you've overcome them, and that's the beautiful thing. Um, so before we're gonna dive right in, and I want La Providencia, it's 20, how many years is it again that you've had
We
that?
were celebrating 20 years this year. This
20
past
years.
May, we celebrated 20 in business. Huge
20.
milestone. Huge.
It's
Yes,
a huge milestone.
it
And it's
is.
not easy. As an entrepreneur, you have a lot of challenges along the way. It's never a straight line. You have a lot of downs, a lot of things that happen. Um, and you guys, why, how was starting this new business 20 years ago? What was the drive or the motivation to start it?
Right. Well, it has to go back to 2003 or so, when Javi, he put a ring in my finger, and he said that he wanted to marry me. But if I wanted to marry him, we will be moving to the U.S. because his dream was always to open a business in the U.S. He was born in the U.S., but he was taken to Mexico when he was a baby. So he always had this crazy idea about coming back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he studied international business. So when it was his time to start thinking about, like as an entrepreneurship career, he decided to do it in the U.S. So we got engaged. I was finishing law school. I dreamt all my life to be a amazing lawyer. I had such a a very ideal life for me, and
Mm-hmm.
that didn't include to moving to the U.S. That's let me tell you that. Anyways, I was 21. We married, and after a year, I graduated, and then we moved to the U.S. And since day one, we came here to open with what's La Providencia right now. And it has been quite a journey. It's been 20 years, 20 years of creating, 20 years of giving 100, 2000% to the business. And it has been complicated, but at the same time, I can tell you that we are very happy that we we decided to take that path because we've been doing for all these years, we've been doing a great, we are making a great team. We are doing better things, easier things now. And at the end, I guess, you do crazy things when you're young, when you're in love. But I'm so, so happy and blessed to continue the same path with, with now a family. We have two boys. We have a business, which is an amazing business. And I think it's worth it. It's worth it. I didn't dream about it, but I was part of that dream. And I have no complaints. I only have blessings for what we have accomplished and for the future.
Yes, and it's beautiful because I know like your two boys have also been part of the business and they get to learn about it. And I'm sure growing up and seeing you guys build this business has taught them a lot. I love your story because you started out like La Providencia now it's you have presence across 22 plus states, right? But you didn't start like that, right?
No.
You started a very humble beginning, a very small, and a lot of people like it's like, oh my God, they're so big. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't all start. It's a lot of work, right? And it's a lot of spirit, you know?
It takes a lot of commitment, definitely. A lot of commitment, and about, I consider myself, and I am a dreamer and also a doer, because you have to combine both things, otherwise you're not going to be successful. But the combination that we have done, my team with my husband, we have accomplished so many things because at the end we're different, but we both love the company and we work in different areas, to create new things and to bring La Providencia to the next level. Even though that sometimes we don't even know what we're doing, but we're just there, like literally, like working hard and trying to open some space wherever we can go through, to bring La Providencia to other places. So at the end, I
Right.
think like, picando piedra every time, picando piedra every time.
Yeah, you have to keep going. So you started out small. It's been an amazing journey. I've seen the last 6 years of it, and you've had a lot of growth. You started with a small shop in Passaic, yes, and you've opened in in Plainfield, right? A shop in Plainfield, and
Mhm.
and do you have any other locations?
Somerset, which is close to New Brunswick. We have
Somerset.
we have so we opened two stores in New Brunswick and Plainfield, and then we have the big one in Passaic. Yes, when we opened our first store, it was located in Passaic, and the store was about 1,400 square feet. It was just that, and then we put a huge sign. Well, for me, it was huge, but right now I just like I see myself like going back to 2005, and I take a big laugh about myself because we actually, we put like a lona there on top, and it said that the lona said that direct importers, right?
Okay.
And we only had like our capital city was only $8,000. That was it. Like we sold everything we had in Mexico after our marriage, everything, all the gifts and everything. Javi's parents, they support Javi, and we pretty much like collected all the money that we had back then, and that was it. That we invested $8,000. We had literally like a box of something, like one item, right? And then we put the sign saying that direct importers, and there was like literally people coming in like this is a new place, and they were laughing about us. They were making fun of us because they were like, oh, I just wanted to, like I was like, hi, welcome. My job back then, it was to literally welcome everyone into the store because it was just me working. And Javi and I, we used to have a very, it was like a small SUV that we brought from Mexico. And Javi used to put like fill up the trunk with a stuff, and he will go out to the stores, whatever, like one day to Union City, the other day to Staten Island, whatever, and just like fill the car with stuff, and then go there and try to make a sale. And at the same time, I was staying at the store, and I was just like welcoming everyone. I am from Guadalajara, Mexico, so we talk a lot, right? So it was funny because like coming from Guadalajara, there's mostly people from Puebla. They're people that they're more quiet. They don't talk that much. So,
Okay.
you know, that the first day I opened the store and I was like, hi, welcome, how can I help and whatever. And they were like, we just wanted to come and see, you know, like who are these, you know, this new company and direct importers. And they were just like literally making fun of us. But let me tell you something. Since the beginning, we thought and we trust and we have so much faith in the idea about becoming an entrepreneur and about our business. So we never doubted that we will eventually become successful. So there were people coming to tell me in my face that making fun of me because I was like literally pretending to be a business. Maybe I wasn't, but I was open and I was ready to become who we are right now. So
Yeah.
after 20 years, I can
That's
say
such
that
a,
it was, you know, it's a blessed business, but we were dreaming about it. We never stopped believing, and we were like picando piedra and tesones, and at the end, it's like, you know,
yeah.
we
In English, you say brick by brick. You know, you
there
were
you go,
building it brick by
brick
brick,
by brick.
brick by
Yes,
brick. And
it's I think, you know, it's you get a dream. You have to dream and you have to believe in yourself, but you have to work hard. And if you do those things, you know, you're gonna make mistakes. Yes, too many mistakes. We still, you know, we are still doing mistakes. But at the end, it's like how you overcome once mistakes are done and how you stand up and keep fighting. That's it.
yes, that's how, and that's what sets you aside. That's what has kept you in business for 20 years, right? But so it started out very small. Now you import to all these different states and you bring Mexico más cerca de ti, right? To everybody in the US. But I always like to start in the beginning because um Logan.
Hmm.
Because it's such a beautiful start. Everybody, you know, all these big companies had a start, and you had an idea, and you and Javi had a dream. You started with $8,000, and here you are, right? But no one talks about that. It's like, ah, yeah, you just got there magically. No, it took a lot of work. Um, Now going back to La Providencia and what it brings. Um, you bring authentic ethnic kitchenware and you work with artisans from Mexico. And I've seen you post that you buy from, you know, you buy directly from them, right? And I think that's such a beautiful thing that you're going directly to the artisan. Why is preserving and sharing Mexican culture through business so important to you?
Well, I'm going to tell you the things. We are preserving the Mexican artesanias, the arts and craft. That's the main thing. And second thing will be preserving the auto employment of hundreds of artisans who make these artesanias. So at the end, it's like the kind of business that we do. It's not just promoting culture and traditions in
Hmm.
Mexico, but also in the US. So when you talk about the kind of business that we are doing, it's not just supporting the artisans in Mexico and preserving the arts and craft from Mexico, but also preserving traditions and culture in the US. So
Yeah.
with our business, we support that many Mexicans living in the US, first generation and second generation, continue the tradition because our products get them closer to too many of them. They have never visited Mexico. So they've been here in the US, you know. So when you talk about traditions and like, for example, the 16 de Septiembre and the parade, the Mexican parade and everything, they proudly, you know, take the Mexican flag and they feel they take pride of, you know, being Mexicans. But the fact that you are bringing these products for them to make them feel that they belong, I
Hmm.
think that's something else. So we take pride of what we do every single day. We've been doing it for 20 years. Back then, nobody believed in that. Nobody believed in the artesanias, in selling arts and crafts, like handmade products from Mexico. It's quite difficult to sell them. But at the end, it's like just believing in something, sticking to it, and then achieving or master the sale of this specific product and creating a niche, because the need was there, but there
Yes.
wasn't a niche. Nobody realized that that could be a niche. Now you can find, like, I don't want to say hundreds, but you can find dozens of boutiques or arts and craft like stores
Yes.
selling those products. But somebody had to do it first, and that was La Providencia.
La Providencia did it first. And it was you tapped into a market that is there. There's a lot of us. And you know, porque tú también, with your business is like a nostalgia, like como esa nostalgia de tu país, de tus cosas. And when you walk into La Providencia, one of the little stores, it's like you're walking into a little store from Mexico. So it's very, and they have de todo. And I also know, because I've worked with you on some events, you bring you build the altares for Dia de Muertos, which is another um, way that you keep the culture alive and you keep it here, for those of us that are here, and you share that with everyone. We also talked about Nuuku, that's a boutique hotel. Why a hotel? You're importing and you're having this whole thing going, and then Nuuku came along. Why did you decide to start a different venture with a boutique hotel?
Well, when we started Nuuku, that was back in 2017. So we were already too many years in business. So I could say that back then we were kind of like, not. It was easier for us to handle the company here, and Nuuku was born about an idea of a ranch. Javi wanted a ranch. He wanted to have like a place to retreat himself, to go away, to rest. And we started like searching for land. And he wanted a specific, things. And that was like to like nice weather, but it kind of like he didn't want it to be like close to the ocean, but not in front of the ocean. So at the end, we found this land, which is Maya. It's Maya land, and we kind of it was we fall in love with the place. When we were doing like research, I came up with this idea about like creating a ranch that will make us money. At the end, like if it's a vacation home, you're only investing money, and it's an expense. So I wanted the place to be, to run by itself, to be successful, but at the same time to be our kind of like sanctuary, like personal or
Mhm.
family sanctuary. But when we're not using it, we wanted to share the space with other people. And because we are in the Maya land, I consider that that place is sacred. The nature over there, it's pretty much alive. Once you get there, you're gonna feel how high the level of the energy is. So the place has the power to heal you. And that probably is gonna sound like crazy to many people, but the people who are in the process of, uh, you know, uh, finding more things, um, you're gonna see that this place it's magic. So when we start developing the land, there was so many things that happened, and we knew that this place was special. So we wanted to create something like really nice for the people to come and enjoy, and make it affordable, but at the same time in a luxury way. You're staying in the jungle at the end, but we wanted to bring all the benefits of like a 5 4 star resort, but while staying in the jungle. So with that, Travel and Leisure published us back in 2021, and that was crazy because it was a sacred place with a cenote, which we have a cenote on site, which is completely private, only available to our guests. So, like we came up from the family vacation home and to a very successful, like a vacation place where others can actually enjoy. So
Yes.
it's boutique because it's very private. There is no space more than 14 guests. That's it. but it's seated in 4 hectares of land, so he's massive.
It is. It's
So
massive. It's
it's
and
massive.
nature. Yeah, and it's beautiful. I've seen pictures. It's in my bucket list to visit. But it looks magical. It looks very. I think nature has a way to heal, and nature has a way to reconnect people to themselves. And and you have people there that are part of the Mayan, culture, and they're there and they take care of the place, and it's very sacred. So if you go there with that intention, I think you'll get more than what you sign up for. Um, so we've talked about different growth ventures. You also operate businesses in both here, right? You have Nuuku in Mexico, and then you have here in the US. What are some unique challenges and rewards of being a binational entrepreneur here and there?
Well, La Providencia, we also do business in Mexico. Everything we outsource everything from Mexico, so we have to pretty much visit. We bring merchandise from 17 states of Mexico, so we have to travel a lot. So I can tell you that my rewards will be visiting Mexico, enjoying my beautiful country, the food, the atmosphere, the people, the drinks, and the magic that Mexico has, all the culture and folklore. That's my favorite part. And the hassle, I will say that, sometimes you have to travel a lot. And then with that, I have 2 boys at home. So sometimes, like, since the boys were born, they were born and somebody was watching over them, because mom has to go to work. Mom decided to be successful, and sometimes I just had a podcast in Mexico. They invited me to the radio station, and I was telling them this is important thing that I got it in my mind, and probably most of the women's hearing us today, they're gonna feel the same way. So when you're a working mom, right? Uh, just imagine that we have a blanket. It's like you put the size of the blanket, but it's just like one size. You cannot make it bigger or smaller. This is it. So you already have everything, like it's a bed, and then you have everything, right? Your husband, your family, your children, the job, the friends, community, whatever. So if you want to create something new, it's like you have to pull the blanket. So
Yeah.
at the end, you have to make a decision about, okay, so which side of the blanket are you pull from? And at the end, if you're pulling from there, that is gonna be like outside. And then you feel guilty, because at the end it's like, okay, you are growing as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a woman, uh, but you have to give up on something, and sometimes you do it on your children. And so that would be the things that I don't like, because when we travel, uh, like the other day, right? We went to Mexico. We spent a week in Guadalajara. We came home, and 3 days later, there was an emergency, so we have to fly to Cancun, and we only see the boys like for 3 days, and then we flew again. And one day, I decided to talk to my children, and I told them, okay, so why you guys didn't call me? I was doing renovations in Nuuku, right? And they didn't call me. And I was like, what's going on with you guys? Why you guys didn't call me? And they told me, like, Mom, you remember? This has been our life, like, since we were born. We remember, like, when we were little, you never called. And we got used to don't call, because we know that you're busy doing your things, and we just don't want to bother. But going backwards, I remember when they were very little, every time that I was, traveling, I used to call, because when my boys were born, thank God, at least we had the FaceTime, right? So I was able to
Yeah.
see them. But I was doing FaceTime, and the boys were crying. Every time that I was calling, they used to cry and cry, like, Mom, I want you back, and whatever. So I felt so, so bad, not because of me, but because of them, that I decided to stop calling, because I knew that they would be like better if I didn't call, because I didn't want them to feel like loneliness. And I stopped calling. And now that, like, after so many years, they're 15 and 17, I call them. I said, like, what's going on? Why you don't call? And they said, like, Mom, it was your idea since the beginning. And I was like, oh my God, I felt like it was like kind of like heartbreaking for me, but at the end, it's like things that you have to do because if
That's,
you
that's,
don't, it's just you can keep
yeah,
up with everything, you know.
you,
So that
yeah,
would be my thing that I don't really like
that
when I have to go
you
into
don't like
business. Yeah, leaving
having
my boys. Yes, I wish they
your
could come with me, and I really love every time that they come with me during summer. But they're growing, and every time, every year is getting more difficult because they have their own activities, so it's more difficult for them to join us now.
they have
And
more commitments. But
ex-
everything's a sacrifice. I personally know Luca and Andre, and they're beautiful boys. They're very hardworking. I think they've seen your hustle, and they're always so creative. They're always thinking about, how can they make something happen. So they've learned a lot from you. And yes, unfortunately, as parents, you have to make sacrifices. Um, and if you tell them, hey, I stopped calling because I didn't want to see you crying, then now that they're older, they're probably going to understand that yes, you love them and you miss them, and all the things that you do are for them, right? At the end of the day, um, you're doing this for you and also for them because you want to leave them a legacy. Thank you for sharing that and being so vulnerable.
that's my you know me. I try always to be transparent and being honest and to share stories because at the end it's like you don't want to talk about successful and pretend that everything is great and everything is like pink color. It's nothing like that. Success comes after so many bad things and bad experiences and fails, and we have lost so much money, and we have fallen too many times, but at the end it's like everything that everything that you conquer, it's because you never give up. And to me, that's what I like to keep, and I try to be honest, like to share the good things but also the bad things, because people have to realize that in order to become successful, you will suffer, you will have to make sacrifices, that's for sure. So
Yeah,
whoever
it
is
is.
saying that this is just like color de rosa, excuse me,
No,
but it's not. No,
no,
don't trust those people.
no, it's true.
Someone is asking about where is it. I think where is Nuuku? Nuuku is in Cancun, Mexico. It's actually 35 minutes away from the Cancun airport, in Ruta
Yes,
de los Cenotes.
yes, and if you look them, I'm gonna leave all their stuff when I put the replay so you can look them up. But it's NUKUU, and you'll find them everywhere. Yes, there is a lot of sacrifices that you have to make. It's definitely entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It's you really have to want it. You really have to want it. And that dream that you have, whatever that is, you really have to want it. Because there's going to be days where you're going to wake up and you're not going to be motivated. There's going to be days where you're going to question yourself if what you're doing is if anybody finds it valuable. There's going to be days where people are going to laugh in your face, right? And not believe in you.
Especially at the beginning, everybody's gonna laugh at you. Everybody's gonna keep saying like, just don't
That's
waste your
love.
time, go back to your job and do whatever, stay safe, because being an entrepreneur is completely like jumping from a hill, is it a hill? No, not a hill.
A
From a
cliff.
cliff, from a cliff. And but at the end you stay where you are and always dream about what could have been if you were trusted yourself and go for it.
Yes. You talk about faith, and it's having faith in yourself. It's believing in that dream that you have and going after it. And yes, you've made a lot of sacrifices, and you have a beautiful family, and you and Harry have done a wonderful job raising those two boys. Um, but these are the kind of things that happen, right? And you balance and you try to do your best. And when you're here and you're present, you do your best at being present with your boys, right? Um, Now, you also have another leadership role in the Chamber of Commerce, in the board of directors. Um, And why is giving back so important to you?
Well, when I moved to the US, I always believed that I was, you know, it took me years to realize what was the purpose of me being here in the US. I always dream about something else. But uh, in the years later, I realized that there was so much opportunity to, to begin doing things that Mexican women don't usually do, especially in this area. So, I kind of continue my education because that is important to me, and to become better and better, and my knowledge and my connections, my network, and the fact that I have been the first Mexican ever in so many things, uh, that to me, I take pride of that. But going back to the humbleness, I think it opens a door not for me, but to the people that come after me. All the Mexicans, the old Mexican women's, the second and third generation of women's from Mexico, or that they have Mexican roots, that they can believe in themselves and they can do things, different things. And I've been invited to boards, and into relationship with the Mexican government, and every time that I'm doing a new thing, it's like I'm opening a door for all of us. And I get there, and trust me, I am not even this close to be the level of not, I don't want to say knowledge, but I am exploring new things. So when I, like, for example, when they invited me to the statewide Hispanic chamber, right? I was the
Mhm.
first Mexican in the board. I am the only Mexican in the board. But when I got there the first time, the first meeting, I was like completely like, okay, how I'm gonna do this? Like, I know nothing. I don't even know why they chose me, because everybody here is so advanced. They have so many knowledge, and what I'm supposed to do here. And I felt like I didn't belong for the first couple probably meetings, until I realized that I was chosen for a big reason. And the reason was to be a face for the Mexican women, which happen to be a very successful entrepreneurs, the ones who are, that the women are opening more business here.
Sis, yeah,
And from those women, the majority of those women are Mexicans.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Mexican women are taking over the business, and they are deciding to go over and, to start businesses, and to be successful. So at the end, I realized that, I was kind of like chosen to be someone that they could see, and they could put a face and see, like, here is the Mexican doing it. I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to continue doing this, because I know that I can get there eventually. And I'm going to, I've been doing it for 20 years, but I didn't know how to do it. I've been just like trying and trying and becoming better and better. Now I feel like I belong, and I feel so, um, like so easy for me, like, to be in the boards and everything, like explaining myself and sharing. And I am part of the board. But the first couple times, I felt like I was just like I didn't belong, and it was just like I couldn't understand what was I doing there. And now I understand that, as much as I become, like I am continuing my education, I am becoming more, my mind has more information that I can share, and I can be a role model probably for young women that will be, will see me, like, if me, a Mexican, I moved here when I was 21, I have accent. I still don't know many things, like many words in English. If I could do it, like, what is, like, blocking them to go and, achieve whatever they want if they were born in the US and they can do whatever. I'm always trying to encourage, especially young women to go for it, and don't let anyone to tell them that no, you can't. Just go for it. So
I love
yeah.
that. And they chose you because you represent women entrepreneurs so well. You're honest, right? You're real. You say it how it is, right? No es todo color de rosa, right? It's not all peaches and cream. Um, and thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for being honest. I'm so proud, to have you as a board member because you're representing us very well, and all those other Mexicans and Latinas. And not only that, but you're also, like you said, you're a role model, and you're inspiring all those other young Latinas that are starting their own business to feel and feel heard, right? And seen, right? I can see myself in you. I'm so sure there's a lot of women that see themselves in you, um, in those roles. So thank you for being here with me, Lilia. I know we're coming to an end. There was another question that's not coming. Reina wanted to know what, because you started saying you came here, you didn't know what your role was with the chamber, and she wanted to know what was like the first thing that you wanted to do when you came to the U.S.
Go back. That was the first thing. That was the first thing. I was I finished law school. I
Yeah,
was already, like in my mind, I was like already dressed up in suit and with my suitcase and going into court and having my own I was going to become. I had this crazy idea about like being a lawyer for
a
real.
lawyer. Yeah,
And
you
then
started.
next day we opened the store. The first thing that happened is I broke my nails. I had to stop wearing my heels, and then I switched for, like industrial boots, and then
Yeah,
jeans. I was coming from, a lot of dresses. I used to wear dresses and skirts, and I had to switch for jeans and have to wear uniform, with the brand.
with the
I
branding.
still don't like it much, but I try to make an effort on that. But at the end, it's like you're representing your company, so it's a
Of
good thing.
course.
But I had to change everything, my the whole thing, and like I had to pull up, like sacks or like 50 pounds of dried peppers, right? 50 pounds. Back then, I used to my weight was like 98 pounds, and I was lifting 50 pounds, and so my nails were like they were like all broken,
Right.
and then I was like my face was like all like dusty and everything. So I had to realize that, the first couple of months, I guess it was like when I'm going back, like this is not the this is not the life that I dream about. But
Yes,
after, you start like seeing things and see it for yourself, and that you can achieve different things and go into a different level of commitment and dream. I think at the end, it's like you have to stick to it and believe in that. And so that was the first thing, yeah, going back. And I dreamt about going back for the first 10 years. And after the 10 years, I started to like in the US and my life
it's
here,
simple.
because after 10 years, I started like enjoying my life because the business was kind of like stable, and we were able
Okay.
to at least go on vacation, right? Because the first 10 years, there was no money to go on vacation. And literally, like, it was just like work, work, work 24/7. So it wasn't a lot of pleasure, but I can tell you that afterwards, everything is like you get your check back. So it's
Yes.
worth it.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
it
It's
is.
worth it.
It
Yes.
basically, you get rewarded in public for what you do in private. So all those nights, all those many years that you couldn't take a vacation, of the many nights that you were working hard, fixing your, La Providencia, putting it together, figuring it out. And I'm sure there were many days like that. Um, you said your first 10 years it wasn't stable, right? And that's something that, as business owners, we have to learn. The goal for the business it's to be profitable, right? And for you to get to that stable place. In your first years it's not going to happen like that. And it's not for everybody.
And
That's
especially
what
for
most
the kind of
people.
niche. So our
Yeah,
problem was that the niche that we chose at the end is like, what kind of products are you selling? When we used to talk to our friends or family back in Mexico, we used to tell them, yeah, we're gonna sell molcajetes in the U.S., and they were like, what molcajetes? I mean, like, how you're gonna sell them to the museums or what? It's like you are not making enough money because those products are extremely difficult to sell, extremely difficult. So it's like when the pandemic came, we were so very stressed about what is going to happen to La Providencia, because we only sell molcajetes and kitchenware, ethnic kitchenware, and those things that these things are not necessarily. So people are going to stop buying our stuff because they're going to stop like purchasing, like buying food, groceries and stuff like that. But guess what, people wanted to, so they decided that they were going to buy maseca to make tortillas. We sell the tortilleras to make them, and then
Tortilleras.
we sell the comales to put it to warm. We sell the comales, and then afterwards we sell the tortilla keeper and the napkin to keep it warm, the
Keep
tortilla.
it warm.
We sell
Yes.
the plates, we sell the cups, we sell
They sell everything.
everything. So
Yeah.
we went, like, we broke all the sales, like literally all the goals in 2021. We broke all the goals for La Providencia. That was our top year ever, because people went crazy about buying stuff and cooking, and we were the source how you cook Mexican with
Yeah, you could
with
Mexican
the La
food.
Providencia kitchenware.
That's
So that was
it's
amazing. We
so
didn't
it,
believe that. We never believed that much in our brand until we realized that that was happening. And the pandemic, when we realized, oh my God, we are part of uh, of the society right now. Like our brand belongs now, and that
yes,
was
it's a lot.
amazing.
Yeah, like
That
all
was
Latinos.
amazing.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, and it's realizing that there's a big we're the biggest minority in the U.S. And we're going to be the biggest everything.
yes.
We're
We're
taking
for
over
2050. We're gonna be the first majority, and
the
Mexicans
majority.
are the,
Yes,
yeah. And
but we
I mean,
just
like,
that's what it is.
we know the data. If people don't want, they want to ignore the data, it's up to them. But we know the data, and this is going to continue switching. It's going to continue changing, and I think the opportunity of the people like getting involved in businesses with soul, that is going to be a big opportunity for people thinking about like, why, what can I bring?
Oh, I'm losing
So
this.
stay put.
Yeah, stay here.
It's going to happen. Yes.
Yes. You have Saludes from Antares Painting, New Jersey. We're
Mm,
getting ready to visit. Thank
saludos.
you, Reina. Thank you, Julian. And there's a lot. I can't go back. There's a lot. Thank you to all of you that connected here with us. We're getting to the end. Um, and I just want to ask you, Lilia, and say thank you. You inspire me. I've seen you go through, like, she's had very successful years. I've seen it happen for La Providencia. And I've seen challenging years, like, you know,
The
right,
flood.
the
The
flood.
flood.
It
Yeah.
was, I just couldn't believe it. And here she was, every day she went and she kept going. And then, the year after, she's opening another store. So, you know, these are the type of people that we need more of, to inspire all those others that we're trying to make it happen. So, Lilia, what would you say for someone that's starting out, that wants to start a company, that is just thinking about it, but is scared?
Well, people, we have to become more honest. So if you are going to start a business, just make sure that it's an honest business. When you right now, people are buying. Uh, they are buying with the heart. They're not buying anymore with impulse. When we started our business, people were buying by impulse, and they were buying because the economics were so good. Right now, the economics are not that good. People, and there is not enough money, right, out there. But people are buying because they trust the company, but they do not trust the company. They trust the owner. They trust the founder. So storytelling. I will say to everyone that wants to start a business, go go out there, tell your story, be honest, and tell the people why they have to buy your product or your service, and people will start getting it.
Yes, and share your why and why you do it, and and your dream and why you started. So
Yeah.
thank you guys. Thank you, Lilia, again for joining me. I will see you guys again in 2 weeks at 7 p.m. So muchas gracias. And I
Thank you
will
so
see
much for having me, Laura. You know you're one of my favorites. Thank you for having me.
you. So are you. Un abrazo. Gracias,
Un
Lilia.
abrazo, gracias, buenas noches.
Bye.
Bye.